What's up, everybody? Schmitty and Christian with another episode of the Skaters on Baseball. And 2 days ago, we were high as a kite, and then 2 days later, we're low and slow, baby, because Warriors got smoked, and Giants went down to San Diego in first, lost two, and came home in third.
Yeah, just like Ben Franklin flying that kite in a lightning storm. But we can always count on Bobby Duville. Positivity mode. I say, yes, let's do it.
And Babe rocks.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants faced the two best pitchers the Padres have. Never mind that they played 17 days in a row and had one day off, and it was travel day. So it's not worrisome, right? And got the Rockies coming into town, so chance to get a little spank payback, right?
What's happening, D-Bogs? Well, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I think the Padres are a better team than we are. It's like they got a better bullpen, they got a better starting rotation, they got stars. Tatis is better than anybody on our team. It is what it is, but I don't think it doesn't mean we can't beat them. But I think on paper they just have a way better team than we do right now. We got like the other channel keeps telling you about these 6 guys that aren't hitting 200 on our squad, and it's true, man. You see Lamont Wade back to back with the catcher Bailey, and it's just like, oh my god, that just seems like 2 spots that you have automatic outs, and that has to change. And we can't just prey on the Rockies. These guys gotta figure it out, because King is a great pitcher, but dude, every team has great pitchers. So like, we can't just say, oh, we found another good pitcher. It's like, I don't know, but at least the games were competitive, right? Like, we didn't get blown out.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to give the what if disclaimers, right? Like, what if Webb was Webb last night instead of being not so Webb last night? Okay, and Roupp kept him in the game today. It was they got 2 runs off of Roupp. So I mean, the biggest problem right now is just the hitting. The strikeouts are insane. It was 14 yesterday, 12 today, and that's got to get better. I don't think the Padres are light years ahead of the Giants, but yeah, they got Tatis, one of the best players in the league. They got Arias, who's a hitting machine. He just came off the IL today. So they got,
Machado,
they got some, and Machado.
And Jackson Merrill, one of the best young prospects in all of baseball. Yeah. It's like they have talent. Like,
there's no question. I think the Giants do too, but they're not performing up to their potential. So I don't know. I just feel like something's got to happen on the offensive side. I think the pitching has been mostly okay. I mean, Webb wasn't great, but Verlander's last outing was really good. Roop's been pretty good. I mean, he got touched up a little today, but it wasn't terrible, and he didn't have his good stuff. So yeah, it's really an offense thing, and I feel like, man, Wade's got about 3 days left in my mind to make it start happening, and it's like, fuck.
Well, the good news is April's over.
Yep.
So if you believe in all that crap, tomorrow starts a new month, and so they can put the bad month behind them and all that. But something that Dan pointed out earlier, which kind of like, I think I kind of was in tune with this, but when he said it, I was like, Jesus Christ. Chapman and Flores were 0 for 4 today each. That's 0 for 8. And that was 5 strikeouts between the two of them.
Yep.
And yesterday they were both 0 for 4. So that's 0 for 8 each in 2 games in a row. And that's our 4 and 5 hitter.
Right.
We don't have a cleanup hitter. It's just, we don't. Like, Chapman shouldn't be the cleanup hitter. Wilmer shouldn't be. Ramos shouldn't be. I think we need somebody that you can put in the 4-hole that's going to be a power threat, and a guy like Tatis or even Machado. These guys, like, they don't strike out all the time, and that's what our guys have been doing a lot lately. And so It is just 2 games, and it was a long beginning. It's funny because I was like, "Is that the quickest road trip after the longest road trip?" Like, we just had a 17 game, and then we just go 2 games, and then we're back home. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, Kruko was talking about one of the stranger schedules they've ever seen to start off a season. So, yeah, I mean the difference in this series. Look at the Padres; they just hit, and it wasn't like they were socking the ball out of the park. They were just getting these, finding grass, just getting it just far enough to get past the infielders. They were finding holes. They weren't trying to do too much at the plate, and I think that's what the Giants have been struggling with. Last 2 weeks probably, where guys are just trying to put a mighty hack on the ball and they're coming up empty because you're facing guys that know how to pitch against you if that's what you're doing. So I think they got the Giants number a little bit. I think that's why the strikeout totals are so high. You see guys swinging out of their shoes, right? And we've been watching Adames do it ever since he got here. And I think maybe he's starting to structure his at-bats and have a little bit more of a disciplined approach, but everybody's got to kind of get there. I'm not worried, but I'd like to see a better brand of baseball. The walk-offs are great. It's always nice to have that drama, but like, you got to just consistently play well. Don't depend on somebody doing magic in the 9th inning, right?
Well, between Chapman has 36 strikeouts, Elliot Ramos 34, Willie Adames 32, and Patrick Bailey 31. That's 4 guys on our team that have 30 or more strikeouts already in 1 month. So we kind of knew Chapman was that guy. We kind of knew Adames was that guy. We were hoping Ramos wasn't that guy. And Patrick Bailey's just, I don't know if he's lost or what's going on with him, but he's not starting out even at all how he's started out in the past. So that is concerning. And I mean, we keep talking about him and his switch hitting and how that should stop and he could just focus on being a lefty. I don't know what it's going to take, but he doesn't look like when he's up at the bat, I'm not worried he's going to do something good. Like he seems like he's just like, off balance and his swings aren't that hard. I don't know what the exit velocity is, but he hasn't looked good. And obviously Lamont has been struggling, but I would say Lamont in the last few days has at least looked like he's hitting the ball. He's been hitting it at people, and he still continues to pop up and strike out way too much. But some of the bat to ball contact is like the old Lamont that we were accustomed to.
Yeah, he's definitely been hitting balls hard. Unfortunately, they're right at people a lot of times. A little bit of hard luck. He's still taking his walks. Every game he walks at least once, right? Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, he's slow as molasses on the bases, but on base is on base, And the unfortunate thing is they had 3 solo homers today with, never having base runners in front of a home run. That's brutal, especially when you're in a game where you're staying close, you're within striking distance to win that game. And you got guys coming up and hitting solo homers. And it's like, you gotta get guys on ahead of you. So yeah, I think the cleanup hitter thing is a problem. Maybe when Encarnacion comes back, he's the turnkey solution for the number 4 spot. We both know Chapman's just not a cleanup hitter type, You move him down in the lineup, 5th, 6th, 7th even. I think you get better production out of him, honestly, at the plate, because he does strike out quite a bit,
It's true. I mean, he leads the league in walks, though. He's got 26 walks, and he's he got 5 home runs, and he's batting 198. So that's not great. But Adames is at 208, and then Lamont's 125, Wilmer's 229, Patrick Bailey 160. Luis Matos 158, Casey Schmidt 174. Like these, nobody's really impressing you. Jung-Hoo Lee has been pretty consistent, and the guy that he's batting 319 still, and he kind of cooled off a little bit, but he's still hits the ball. He doesn't strike out. He struck out 17 times. So,
Yeah.
That's half of what the other guys have struck out.
Right.
So we'll see. Like I was joking, telling the guys I was hanging out with about, the Rockies are going to get our bats, in order. We're going to get a good prescription of Colorado Rockies, and all of a sudden everyone's going to start hitting, and they're going to leave the series and continue hitting. We'll see if that works out, but I do think that the Rockies will have lesser pitching than what we've faced with the Phillies, the Yankees, the Padres. I mean, people are talking, it's so funny how people just jump off the bandwagon and jump on the bandwagon, but like the Giants lose 2 games and everyone's like, see, we should never have had Chapman and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And then like next week, those same people will be riding people high, and it's just up and down with these, like, it's a long season, guys. You got to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's what you and I were talking about the other day about the people who want to be able to say, I told you so late in the year, right? Like, see, I told you they sucked when they missed the playoffs, and told you they shouldn't have got this guy or got that guy. It's like, man, you have to take a step back and go, this is so much better than last year and the year before and the year before that. Right. And, all the negatives, I think like enough people put that negative energy out there, a little bit of it's going to bleed into what's going on with the team, with the games, right?
I believe it.
Yeah, I feel like Jung-Hoo Lee, I've been watching him in the last couple of games. He kind of been a little flat. Maybe he needs a day off. I'm sure these guys are tired after that road trip, even though they had 1 day off. I mean, yeah, the turnaround was like 2 crazy 9th inning walk-offs, and then basically a travel day, and then 2 games against tough San Diego, and now they fly back home, and then they start a weekend series tomorrow. It's nuts.
Well, there was some good stuff that happened. Adames yesterday hit his 2nd home run of the season, and then followed that up with a double. And that double was more in line with what I want to see from him. Yep. The line drive, like power line drive into the gap. That's the guy that I think we got. And if he can start doing more of that, that should be really good. And then, like you said, Webb, for whatever reason, he'll have a horrible 1st inning, and then somehow he, the guy never leaves the game really. He battles and battles, even with his, he doesn't have his best stuff. But I think that once Adames gets to at least being Adames, like, we don't think he's going to have his best year ever with us this year, but I think he's going to be a lot better than what he's been in the month of April. And that combined with Gerard coming back, and if Casey Schmidt can be back, I don't know what they're going to do there, but they got to figure out Luis Matos. Like, are they going to give him some playing time, or are they over him? But we need all the guys on the team to be playing so that people don't get burnt out.
Yep, definitely. And they've got depth, but then when your depth starts getting hurt, then it makes it like they don't have so much depth. So speaking of depth, like, you went to the River Cats game, so you got to see some of the potential depth, but they didn't have a great game, right?
It was Mason Black didn't pitch super well, and Lamb is definitely not somebody I really need anywhere near Oracle. That kid, what's his name? Lawler, Lawler, is it?
Yep.
I don't know. The guy on the Aces, he's their 3rd baseman. That guy's as advertised. Jordan Lawler. He hit a home run, a double, made a great play at 3rd. He's fast. So I got to see, the hype on him. But the thing that I took away mostly from it is it's a different ball game. And I don't know that the guys care that much that are there. Like, it just looks so different being there. I mean, obviously it's smaller and there's less people in attendance and there's less seats, all that stuff. But like, just looking at the attitude of even like Wisely and McRae and the guys that you've seen up at Oracle, and then the way that they kind of like hold themselves there, it just feels like they're playing down to where they are, as opposed to like, so I don't know. McRae looked, he got on twice, I think, once or twice. He was on base definitely for sure, but he didn't steal. So that was a bummer. And then Kaiwei Tang or whatever his name is came in and just gave up a grand salami. And so that was pretty much the icing on the cake on that one. But Harrison was pitching today, so I missed him by one day. I had a blast though. I didn't realize that if you leave at the right time, which I did, you're going against traffic, or you're going, so there's no traffic basically. So I got up there super quick and I got home super quick, and it's 84 degrees. I'm in a t-shirt. It was a nice day. And having not so many people there, it makes it feel like you can go anywhere. And so I went down and I met up with Chill's Cards, and me and him got some autographs before the game. He's in first place in our fantasy league. Right. And him and his friend Eric were super hospitable. They go to all the games, so they were giving me the little insides, like, hey, come here, do this, do that, and this and that. So it was nice. The thing that I texted you guys, like, there's no more dinger dogs. And like, if you Google like river cats and river cats food, it's all about the dinger dog. Like, you got to have the dinger dog. And I was like, what, where's the dinger dog? But no, it was cool. And I mean, I don't think anybody on that team, like, I don't see anybody on that team really like that anyone on our team is going to be scared of taking over their position. Like, if you let's say you send Matos down, maybe you could do that for McRae. That's about the only thing I see. Like, maybe Wisely for Koss, but that's about it. Like, they're like the kid that they just brought up, I think he's first baseman, like Barracuda. He's supposed to have promise and he's coming, but like, all these guys look like they're green.
Yeah, Barracuda was with them in spring. Don't recall him doing anything spectacular. So, yeah, I mean, I'd take Koss over Wisely any day of the week, just because I like the attitude that he brings, and I like that he just seems like a real gritty kind of undersold guy, and I like it. And we know what Wisely can do. Wisely had made some contributions in the past, but I just feel like it's with some of the new blood. Like, I like a guy like Koss come in, let him try to prove himself, right? And he was in the middle of both of those, walk-off wins, and it's like he's not going to get to play often, but when he does, if he can contribute every time he's in the game, he plays good defense at second base, right? I'm good with it,
I mean, he's got great hands. I think he's a really good defensive guy. Yep. So if he can hit the ball more consistent, and it's kind of like we keep saying, I think that consistency comes with playing consistency. Like, I don't think you can expect these young guys to just come in once in a blue moon and be consistent. Like, they have to have some type of reps where they're getting comfortable and being able to, get better at the plate. Senior, I didn't know about the Davis ditch getting a makeover and the skate park is getting full redone. Last time I went to the Davis skate park, I think it was like 2003 or something. Like, it was a long time ago, and there was a kid that lived in Davis that skated for Flip, and I met him there, and then we went street skiing. James Brockman? No, something Brockman, I think. James Brockman's on zero, but I think it was another guy named.
Was it the kid with the crazy Madonna? Was it that kid? Because I thought he was from the Sacto area.
Not Mako. Oh yeah, I don't know. I thought his name was maybe Brockman, but that was a long time ago. Anyway, that skate park, it left a lot to be desired at the time, so I can't imagine it getting any worse. But that's cool if they're getting a full redone.
You didn't like the little contact lens bowl with the noping and the little channel opening that flowed down into the little gutter? You weren't into that, huh?
I think if I remember right, it had like the broomstick coping that was like aluminum or something that like just bends when.
It was terrible.
And I think that maybe there was a guard, like somebody watching you, that made you wear pads.
When I went there, it wasn't like that. But I think I went there even like in the 90s, maybe. It was whatever it was. It was a long time ago. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
same.
So, anyways, well, yeah. I mean, I'm stoked you got to go to a Cats game. It's just it would be nice. I think like if you went and you saw guys that were really hungry, and like you said, if it seems like they're playing down a grade, that's a bummer. But I mean, maybe it just has something to do with the fact that like, hey, it's only AAA, and this is not where any of these guys really want to be, right? They want to be at the major league level, and it's just some guys like VR. It's like the perennial minor leaguer.
I forgot we got VRs up. Yeah.
But
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting because on paper we have tons of pitching, but I thought Mason Black was gonna be a little. He got roughed up, and so that's no good. And then I don't think that Harrison has been doing over the moon. I think he's getting his velocity up, and he's had some decent starts, but he's not, overpowering people and having like. I feel like all those guys, they need to like be on the cusp of like, we need this guy, not like, oh, he's maybe, like it has to be yes, like this guy's killing it, bring him up.
And the only guy I've been hearing anything like that about remotely is Wisenhunt.
But he had a really bad open his last game was the worst game of the while, so they were all tripping on that. But yeah, he's got great stuff. The guys in AA are the ones that I think are coming. They're very young, like 19, but like Bo Davidson and there's one other guy, I can't remember his name right now, but they just look like they got power, and they're going to get bigger and stronger because they're young, and they're hitting good out there. And Tibbs looks like he could be, I don't know, the jury's still out on Tibbs. We'll see what happens with him, but he looks like he's got all the tools. If he can just, he's kind of Hunter Bishop-y, like he's just right there, like maybe forever am, but like potential to like step it up and come to the bigs.
Yeah. So what did Marco Luciano do? He didn't do anything, did he?
He played left, and I don't think he did much. No, I think actually he probably got a hit, but the thing that was refreshing was that whatever you call it, the pitch, the challenge, the strike thing. Was it ABA or ABB or something?
ABS.
Automatic
balls and strikes.
So that's kind of interesting because you get to see like, is this going to work in the pros? Because it's coming. So they do it really quick. The time thing doesn't bother me at all. I think it's just going to be over time if I like the roboticness of anything in baseball. I don't know.
I would just prefer to have better umpires and not have to go there with that. But that's what you get when the umpires are bad, right?
Yeah.
So it was interesting when we were talking about the Mason Black and Wisenhunt and Harrison and all that. Does it strike you as odd that Roupp and Birdsong just appeared on the scene and just completely eclipsed Harrison, like it in basically a half a season? Like they just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, something happened to Harrison. He digressed.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah. Well, that was the other thing today. So because I'm always reading or hearing people, talk about their opinions and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's time to bring up Birdsong, get rid of Roupp, and I'm just like. There's no patience in baseball, and it's hilarious because there's 162 games. Right. So like, do you want to go through all your ammunition in the first month and then like be shooting blanks the rest of the year? I don't know. I think you got to like keep these guys strong.
Yeah. It's. I mean, there's enough harsh criticism and negativity to choke a horse, right? We're just at the end of the first month right now. So what? I mean, I don't know. We could go tune in somewhere later or tomorrow, and it's just going to be all horrible, you know? And I mean, Glenn's boy has been kind of flat last couple games. So, you know, it's like, hey, dude, all that shit, all that negative shit. Look, now you're tainting your boy. What's going on?
It's interesting. Like, yeah, that whole vibe just seems like it doesn't do much good for anyone except for the one that gets to say, I told you so, you know, or I was right or whatever. But it's like, I'd rather be right about like something good, you know, like he's like Adames is going to break out of this and then be right about that. Not like, he's going to stay shitty all year. It's like, okay.
Somebody I know was saying Wade was going to be shitty all year. I can't remember who that was though.
It might have been me.
It might have been you.
Yeah, because I think he is gonna be.
Well, we'll find out. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't take all year to find out.
Well, no, what it looks like to me, and this is kind of part of what I was driving home from Sacramento yesterday. We don't have any. It's like unless they trade, there's no one to replace him. I don't want Lamb's not it. Gerard could be it, but defensively, he might be a real problem. I don't know. And we don't want to rush Eldridge. So yeah, in Sacramento, I don't see a first baseman coming to Oracle this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can you trade? Can you trade for a first baseman that bats fourth? You know,
this would be a hard trade to make.
That's what we need. We need a first baseman that bats fourth, and this team would all of a sudden be like really formidable with everybody, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Encarnacion, big dude, doesn't move all that fast. I mean, the defense is definitely going to suffer. Wade and Schmidt are your best candidates at first for defense and potentially offense as well. I think Schmidt was looking good before he got hurt. You know, it seemed like he could definitely wake up, and I want to see Casey Schmidt get his legit chance. You know,
same. I love Casey.
Without Farhan pulling strings and making moves and all that crap, with Melvin being able to manage like Melvin, I would love to see Casey Schmidt get a real shot. You know,
yeah.
So
yeah, this is interesting, and this could be a development as if everything stays stale the way it is. I could see them taking a flyer on Rizzo. I don't know what Buster's relationship with Rizzo is, but I bet you that Buster knows a lot about Rizzo, and I bet he already has an opinion on what type of guy he is.
Of course.
And if it's not that type of guy, then he's not coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he's gonna like disrupt things and just be kind of his own entity or whatever, then I don't see him coming. But if he can be a team player and, you know, bend when he needs to do certain things that maybe are out of his norm, but that are going to benefit the team, like this is the type of stuff that the Giants are accustomed to having with their squad. It's like, I'll play anywhere, I'll do anything, I just want to win and I want to play. And those guys are the ones that I think Buster, I mean, I don't know if we talked about it, but that who was it that was when Adames is running from the dugout to home?
It was the Ramos, the inside the Parker.
I mean, that highlight right there, I marked it down. I put it into my folder because I don't think anything's going to beat that all year. That might be the best thing that happens all year. The Ramos of it, and then watching Adames just run like he's Tim Flannery as he's rounding third, like, and they meet at home. It was amazing. Like that brought so much joy. And so, you know, that's a different squad than we had last year. It was very stale. Even when they won, it was boring. This year, that's not the case. And so we all need to like hold on to that as a happy thought. Like, hey, even when we lose, we're fighting back. We're exciting. There's some great play. Yaz is playing phenomenal defense as always. Like he made a great play yesterday where he short scooped it and held the guy at second, which it could have been all the way to the wall. There's just been a lot of good stuff even on the bad days, I guess you would say.
Yeah, there's definitely things to be positive about. And I think what you said about Buster probably being very familiar with who Rizzo is and what he's about, like this team this year seems like it's important to Buster to build on chemistry and to kind of say like, hey, stats and skills don't make you a winning team just by themselves. Guys have to get along. There's got to be camaraderie. There's got to be a sense that everybody's got everybody else's back. And I think that's really important. So, but maybe they are looking at Rizzo, and it's kind of a question of like, well, how much of a leash do we give Wade? What do we do? We can't play Wilmer at first. Is Casey Schmidt going to be able to play? Right. I mean, and this is the thing is like, as time has gone on, when somebody first floated the Rizzo idea, I was like, no. And now it's like intriguing maybe on some levels. Right?
I mean, it's like sometimes you look at things and they're like not what you want, but as things go, you're like, it will be an upgrade. It might not be what you want, but it's going to be better. And so you got to take it. And if it's just a temporary thing, I don't know what the cost is going to be at this point, but Arenado's not coming to San Francisco.
I know
he already said no.
That's the one I was pitching in the offseason, was like, get him. And then Goldschmidt was my next choice after that. Yeah, Rizzo, I mean, everybody should kind of keep in mind that Rizzo is not the same Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. He's more like the Anthony Rizzo of his last season with the Yankees, which is not the same guy, right? The production is not the same. Big guy, power, but a lot of strikeouts, a lot of get hit by pitches, which is always an injury concern when a guy's a little bit older like him too, right? So yeah, shit.
I think we all wanted Goldschmidt. I think Goldschmidt for a year would have been so good.
Yep.
But
I think I might have taken Goldschmidt over Verlander for a year.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing Pivetta and hearing the rumors that the Giants were in on him, I would have loved to have had Pivetta. He started out really good on the mound for the Padres. The Padres bullpen is almost like
they're the best in baseball, I think, right now.
It's really like lights out. It's like Jesus. These guys all come in. You're like one after the other. After you, oh no.
Yeah.
The interesting thing today I heard was so the torpedo bat showed up, and Fitz and Bailey shared some, and they both broke one after the other. So the torpedo bats came and went, and the next batch isn't going to arrive for 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
Because there was such a demand that like now it's kind of back order type stuff. So it was interesting though. Kind of the guys you would think like, Bailey. I don't think Lamont used one, but Bailey and Fitz definitely were trying them out.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to personal preference. If guys like it, they'll stick with it. Guys don't like it, they'll go right back to a regular barrel. I mean, it's yeah, whatever. It seems gimmicky to me. I don't think that it necessarily is going to perform any better across the board. I think for certain guys that bat will work better. Other guys it won't. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So some guys hit, some guys don't.
I mean, if you don't hit the ball, it's not going to work. But the idea of them knowing exactly what area of the bat you tend to hit the ball with and concentrating it, that makes a lot of sense. It seems like, over time, if you keep hitting this one spot and then you put that there, it's like, it makes sense. It would give more, boom to your hit.
Yeah. So that means going into the cage with the mocap stuff on and figuring out like with the swing where the contact is most common, right? And that would be it. So yeah, I like this. Deep Auger, make some bats. Do it.
Well, the great thing about a 2-game series is there is no Christian Cooper's backup catcher concern. We had Patrick Bailey for both days, didn't see or hear of Huff at all. So even though Huff is hitting better than Bailey, he did not get behind the plate. The Giants are 2-7 versus left-handed pitchers, and they are 17-5 versus right-handed pitchers. So that is a huge discrepancy. I can't imagine that this is going to last like this. It's very lopsided, and it doesn't make sense that the Giants can't hit lefties with all that right-handed bats.
Right.
But we'll see how this whole I think April was a tough schedule for the Giants. They played a lot of good teams and they traveled a lot. And so that portion's behind them, and maybe some future things are going to go our way a little more. And that could be beneficial as well.
Yeah. Listen, any time you start the year out on a road trip that takes you through Philadelphia and New York on the same trip, and Houston.
Hey-o!
Come on. So, yeah, they had a pretty rough schedule to start out. And coincidentally, the Padres and the Dodgers didn't have nearly as tough a schedule. So hopefully they start playing some tougher teams. It'll balance out,
Great test. Daniel says, great test. Hey, by the way, Babe Rocks, you won a giveaway last time. And I'm not sure if you're into it or not, but if you are, just email me your address and I'll send it out to you. I got it in an envelope over here. You actually won the drawing that we do each show, and this time is no different. We'll be giving away something. I haven't even figured out what we're going to give away today. So that'll be something to look forward to in the next few minutes here.
Get some AAA cards signed, because that'll be a good one. So yeah, I mean, I kind of be glad to wipe the San Diego series off like shit off your shoe and move on. Get the Rockies. Jake McCarthy.
Jake McCarthy, he was in the pros for a while.
Yeah.
Trey Mancini.
Yeah, cancer survivor, that guy.
Yeah, Christian Pache, ex-Oakland A.
Meh.
We had Ildemaro Vargas and Blaze Alexander. So
what about Wander Franco? You see him picking around the minor leagues anywhere?
No, but
the minor
Vukovic.
The minors leagues.
Wander Franco is behind bars, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then one River Cat. And this boy gave up a grand slam about 20 minutes after he signed this card. So
you jinxed him. You jinxed him big time.
Yeah, they were from SAC, Daniel. I went up there yesterday and saw the River Cats host the Aces. And it was a great day. It was a great day.
Look at this. Austin. Yeah. Austin.
Camfoosh Concrete is doing it.
Sick.
We got to go ahead to do a concrete pour out there, provide the ditches. Camfoosh Concrete owned by Austin. Well, that means that I'll probably be with them because we filmed those DIY series that Austin's been doing for Thrasher. So maybe I will be up there.
Yeah, Camfoosh is a good human, man. I love that guy. Well, so what did you see? I mean, what did you when you watched the game last night, other than Webb? I mean, what kind of stood out to you? It was I was sitting there watching it, just going like, is this really what I'm witnessing right now? It just seemed like it was bad on both sides. I mean, obviously the Giants put some runs up later and made it tight, but everything just seemed a little off. Both these games, really.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that when there's an above average pitcher, we really look bad. Like our team doesn't hit early on, and it's pretty consistent that I feel we're scratching our way back, which a lot of times we do, and that's great, but we got to stop Logan having these bad first innings, Hicks having these bad first innings. The team's down 5-0 a lot in the second inning, and it's like now we got to scratch back. Sometimes we do, but it'd be great to just have a a lead with the starting pitcher and give him confidence and keep that going. So hitters got to hit, man. They want pitchers to pitch, but hitters got to hit.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what my take was. Like, you can't keep playing from behind all the time. Sooner or later, it catches up to you, right? You can only have so many comeback wins, but the odds are against you, right?
Mm.
I mean, in baseball, it's like, what do they say about the playoffs? Usually the team that scores first wins the game something like 70% of the time, right?
I thought they said playoffs.
Playoffs. No,
Yeah.
and the same thing with series. The team that takes the first game in a series often is the team that wins. It's just the way it is. So,
Well, I mean, like I said, there was the idea that Adames hit an opposite field home run and then Ramos smoked a home run today. Those little glimpses are things that you're hoping are more consistent, and an abundance of those happen more as we go. Like Yaz hit another home run. Yeah, Yaz has 5 home runs with Chapman, and Wilmer's got 7. I still don't believe that Wilmer's going to lead the team in home runs at the end of the year, but we shall see.
yeah.
I think Ramos is going to, he's the guy I got my money on, that he needs to not get hurt and just have a really good season. And at the end of the year, you're going to see great numbers from him. Hopefully he strikes out less. He gets closer to 300. He's got like 15, 20 stolen bases. Like, he can do all that stuff. He just needs to get out of the funk.
Yep. And again, I think it's just the approach at the plate. I think it just seems like guys are pressing a little bit. It might not be quite as much, but it just feels like guys are just trying to do too much. Like I want to be the hero at the plate, and it's like, just get it done. Just like there were a couple times today where I noticed Wade was up and Machado's playing him to pull. Like, Machado's like all the way over past shortstop, right? Wade could have easily, even with his slow speed, could have easily had a bunt base hit, right? And I don't understand that. It's like, come on, man. Take your on base where you can get it. So I think the approach is kind of like all or nothing with some guys, and maybe it's starting to sink in with them now. It's like, especially after this series, you look at all the hits that the Padres put up. They weren't majestic, long, smoked line, nothing. Just a lot of flares and just little dinkers into the outfield. And it's like, that wins ball games too. Obviously it won for them.
Speaking of little dinkers, Tommy Pham just wanted to check in and say, what's up, everybody? You know how we do out there at the 415. Well, what do you think? Tomorrow we got Justin Verlander, 0-2, looking for his first win as a Giant against a lefty, Freeland. And so we're 2-7 against lefties, and Verlander hasn't won a game yet. A lot could break that, right? If we win and give Verlander a win and then win against a lefty, those are the little things that we got to get out of our head. Like, these aren't things. They're just coincidentally, this is what's happening, but they're not a thing. And once they become a thing, then it's really over. So you got to erase that thought out of everyone's mind and start overcoming. Give Verlander his first Giants win at home. That'd be great. Fans will be, stoked on that. And then beating a lefty, even if it's the Rockies, you got to take them. I think the Rockies are like 5-25 or something. Their record's atrocious.
Yeah, it's horrendous. And Freeland, if I'm not mistaken, Freeland's been with the Rockies forever. Seems like 10 plus years, right?
He's got a 5.93 ERA, 0-4.
And I don't know, some 6, 7, 8 years ago, he was a nightmare. He was a really good pitcher, and he's not so much anymore. So I'm looking for the Giants to kind of have their way with the Rockies. Obviously, anything can happen, but the last time that I took in a Giants-Rockies game at Oracle last year, they smoked the Rockies, man. I mean, it was just a barbecue. So and I think they swept that series, if I'm not mistaken, on skate day that weekend. Yeah, I think they swept the Rockies at home. So yeah, it'd be good. Maybe it's the right kind of medicine, you know. I would love to just see a hit fest where the Giants just come out and put up, you know, double-digit hits and the strikeouts drop off, and you know, hey, scored 8, 9, 10, 11 runs. Great, you know, have a laugher. So
let's try to at least get 3 of 4, if not 4 of 4. I haven't got to bring out my new broom yet. I bought the broom after we had swept 2 series in a row. Haven't got to pull it out, but very excited to if we get a 4-game sweep, because 4-game sweeps are really tough.
they're hard.
Three are hard enough, but 4 is pretty tough. But let's try to get at least 3 of those 4. You know, I'll be out there. I'm going tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, taking Sunday off, and my wife's got like a big work thing that we're going to go to. So I will be taking Sunday off of the ballpark. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out there, and I'm really confident that we're going to hitting is going to happen for us. And it's probably going to be this series where we start seeing the bats come alive. The weather's getting nicer. That helps, you know, like we'll just see.
Yeah. So you're going to miss out on the BB-8 jersey, or are you actually going to go get some of the
What day is that?
The Star Wars swag? I don't know if it's Saturday. They might be giving away the jersey. I don't know.
Oh, is it a jersey?
Yeah, the
you
Star
know who
Wars
loves
jersey.
those jerseys is Glenn. He just talks so much shit on the cheap jerseys that like don't fit. Yeah, I don't know. If I go Saturday, if it's Saturday, I'll get it. If it's Sunday, no. Yeah. I got the Brandon Crawford T-shirt, and I'm still on the fence if I'm going to put it on eBay or keep it.
It's not what I would have done, but you know, whatever. I mean, the rest of that thing, aside from the T-shirt, was pretty cool. Yeah, it's funny, Glenn. You know, 2 things: usually free and good aren't. You know,
yeah, you get what you pay for,
and he's a big dude. Like, yeah, they're probably not going to have a jersey that fits you. And I just mean he's just big. Like, he's a big man. He's a hockey guy, you know. And I don't know where he got a Flores jersey that big, because that thing's baggy on him. It's crazy.
All right, we're digging out of the woodworks here. Yeah, Glenn is big. Probably they're not built for him. This is an autograph mini card from an old Giants pitcher named Noah Lowry. Nice. So that one we're going to give away today. And you know, if we can get to 300 subs, I think that would be great, guys. If you could help us spread the word, hit the like. Apparently, like, I don't know a lot about this stuff, but what I keep hearing and reading is if people hit the like button and subscribe, that helps the YouTube algorithm. And so please always hit the like button when you're watching our videos. And if you haven't subscribed, not only will it help us, but it will help you to get notified in the future for any shows we do. And we tend to kind of just do them on the fly. Like I was saying last time, we do series finales. So last game of the series, you'll get a show usually, but every once in a while we'll do one in the middle there too. And I think we're going to start doing some interviews again, and maybe try to get a ball player or a coach or somebody that works over at Oracle. You know, we try to get a couple of those every season in. And yeah, so when you subscribe, you'll get notified. And that's the way you can see everything that we're throwing out at you. And it's free. It might not fit well, but it is free. Skaters on Baseball. We don't fit well, but we're free. Look at it this way. We lost our first series, a 2-gamer against a quality team. What the Giants did with the last 17-game stretch, we won 3 or 4 and tied 1 series. That is correct, sir. That is correct. Yeah. So where's the optimism lie? Where's the optimism lie? Let's see, right? I'm going to bring it up here because I want to see where we're at. So the Giants are in third now, and they're 2 games out. So let's see where we're at Monday, right? I think it can change a lot. The teams are so close together that a win and a loss can change things really quickly.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks are creeping. They're 5 back in 4th place. So National League West, toughest division in baseball right now. And that's kind of a good thing. It puts a little pressure on us to consistently play well, right?
Yeah, and it's the tightest division in the league as well. So I mean, yeah, they went from first to third in 2 games, right? That's how tight it is. The tolerances between the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres, it's just crazy. But yeah, I'm still sticking to the positive guns. I feel like, this is much better situation this year. I think the attitude and the team and the clubhouse is better. And obviously I'm not in there, but it just kind of seems that way when you see the guys in the dugout, see them on the field. And I think they got a good shot to be a contender for the playoffs, wild card for sure. Maybe the division, but I think that's a little bit of a stretch at this point. We'll see.
Yeah, Christian and I have been playing kind of past the last place potato, man. But I'm gonna start climbing. It's still early, guys. I like to start out slow and then end with a bang. So,
dude, I took a huge nosedive in the standings because of Matt Chapman and Jung Hoo these last 2 games. Oh my god, I was like at minus 11.5 or something. That hurt.
Do you guys feel like hearing anything from Nego Ned? Because he's been calling in. He's got a little something to say, but it's up to y'all. If you're into that, we can let him in. But if you need more of a positive vibe with a win or something before you can hear his negativity, that's up to you too. So you guys have a bunch of Giants on your squads. No, we're not home. Well, Christian, do you have a lot of Giants on your squad?
I got 4.
Oh, okay.
I
have none.
But listen, I went for Jung Hoo Lee. Obviously, I think it was a great choice. Okay, Matos was a total optimism choice. Webb was a conscious good choice in my opinion. And Chapman let me down the last couple of days, but he was doing all right for me. And Arise was terrible, and then he went on the IL, and now I think I might be trading him. So,
you're gonna trade Arias?
No, I'm actually gonna trade Volpe for Bo Bichette.
Here's my team, guys. There we go. So I got Langolier, Olson, Albies, Devers, Bobby Witt, Corbin Carroll, Brent Rooker, Marcelo Zuna, Adolis Garcia, Dylan Cruz, with Isaac Paredes and Jonathan Aranda, Taylor Ward on the bench. My pitching is kind of not so great with Nola and Sasaki that have just not been pitching well so far. Joe Ryan, Mackenzie Gore, Edwin Diaz, Ryan Hensley, Tanner Scott. My bullpen's great. I got a bunch of saves. Luke Jackson's even collecting saves for me. Down here is where I need help. I need George Kirby. Okay, Pablo Lopez is finally healthy. So maybe one of these guys can help me because I think I'm in last in wins for pitching. But yeah, that's what I got going.
When did Ohtani go on the IL?
He's on the IL for pitching.
That's right.
So you get him for pitching, and then someone else gets him for hitting. It's like 2 different things.
Okay.
Matos.
Yeah, like I said, it was an optimistic. I thought maybe he was going to get some playing time, and I thought maybe he was going to end up ousting Yaz at some point. But apparently, I was way off. He's my utility guy. What are you going to do? Bench guy. I can always sub him in on the days that he plays.
Yeah. Well, let's see what this guy's got to say. We got to let him speak and see if there's any truth to any of the matters he talks.
Hey guys, this is Nago Ned. Just finished watching the Padres take 2 games from us in San Diego. We went down in first and we come back in third. Look, I'm a Giants fan, don't get me wrong. But I'm really leaning into this hasn't been good, guys. The Giants look like it's more luck than skill so far, and I'm really worried it's not sustainable. How long until the luck runs out, guys? And for whatever reason, the batting average of 202 came into my head, and I noticed that there's not even 6 Giants in the starting lineup that are batting over 202. And don't get me started on this late night Lamont. I'm tired of waiting on Lamont, guys. This season, he's more like late to the party, Lamont. Have you seen the movie The Good, the Bad, the Ugly? Well, this team is all bad and ugly. There's no good. My dad used to tell me, you're going to get swept eventually, so just keep predicting it till it happens. So yeah, the Padres swept us in 2-game series in San Diego, like I said. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Giants fan, but I don't like any of these players. I really just want to be able to tell you guys that I told you so. So guess what? I told you so. Damn!
There you have it, guys.
Hilarious.
Oh boy. And our hearts are broken with the Warriors losing, but it'll be nice to come home and win it at home, I think, and give the Bay Area some love because, Chase is going to be ready.
Yeah. What? They play another game in Houston, right?
No, they're coming here Friday. Friday night is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They got a shot at closing it out then.
It's 3-2 Warriors. If Warriors just need to win one more game and Houston needs to win 2. And Houston played out of their mind tonight. So I'm thinking that Friday's going to be probably a blowout for the Warriors because I don't see Houston doing 2 games in a row with that shooting.
Was it really Houston playing out of their mind, or were the Warriors just shitty tonight? Because from what
Houston was hitting 68% of their shots.
Yeah, it was absurd. The Warriors couldn't hit the side of a barn, though. I mean, I saw at one point there was a sequence where they missed 5 shots in one drive. Like they just kept missing, and they were getting the rebound and missing and getting a rebound. It's just like, come on, man, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, they get a little too 3 happy at times where they think they just have to shoot threes all the time. And when they brought in the scrubs came back and got to within 11 points. Yeah. And it was because they were driving to the rim and getting fouled. And it's not about a 3-pointer always. You don't have to just keep hucking, especially when you don't have a good shot. And Draymond throwing threes, that's cute, but we don't need that either.
Yeah. Yeah. And seeing the no-name guys, the Spencer, the smallest white dude on the court, was like salty, man.
Oh, he headbutted that guy.
Well, the dude shoved him gave him an elbow and tried to give him a little shiver. And that dude was like, no, I'm not having this. I mean, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was pretty funny.
I can't stand that Houston team. Like, I don't even really follow basketball that much. And I've been watching this series just because it's like hot Bay Area action. And Houston sucks, dude. They're the worst. I mean,
I hate Brooks.
Nasty, shitty players, man. They deserve to lose. So I hope they do.
They will. Don't worry. They're going to lose. And the Lakers are going to lose tonight. So that's going to even be better. And then it'll be Warriors, Minnesota next series, which will be pretty interesting. I can't believe that the Dallas traded Luka to the Lakers and that's going to all fall apart on them. And it's just, that whole thing is like, did someone hypnotize you? Why did you do that?
Oh, did you hear the sound bites from the press conference that the general manager gave the other day?
Fire Preco or whatever.
He came out and he did a presser and he's like, Oh, I guess I kind of underestimated how much the fans love this guy.
Oh yeah.
Are you insane? Okay, and the Lakers, like, they must have been like, wow. I mean, how did we fall into God's good graces to get somebody to take unibrow off our hands and give us a better player?
Hey, and I got to tell you this. Draymond is pretty nasty, and he has always been a thorn in my side. But I've been saying this year, tipping my hat to him, because he hasn't got the technical. He hasn't, like, the other night they did a little bit of scuffling around. I think he got one, but like he's actually held his cool and backed off, where in previous years he would have been like and just blowing it and getting, like, remember the one year that he got like 7 technicals in the playoffs or something, and he had to like leave for one game. It's just like, we cannot have that. So
yeah, he got a 1-game suspension, I think, right? Like, they just automatically said, no, enough is enough. So I think he's maintained his cool pretty well. I don't think, I think the Warriors will get through Houston, and I don't think another team will defend against Golden State the way that Houston had. They've just smothered them,
yeah, they play good D.
Yeah, and the size discrepancy with, the guys running on the floor. I mean, some of those Houston guys are just monster huge, I mean, it's nuts. So yeah, they'll get them. They'll get them.
They're gonna get them. They're gonna get them. The rumors are flying now that Milwaukee lost. Is Giannis gonna be moved? And is there a possibility of the Bay Area? Could Giannis come to the Warriors? Can you imagine Jimmy Buckets, Steph Curry, and Giannis? Like, let's go.
And nobody's gonna be upset by an upgrade like that. That guy is pretty nasty. Exactly.
We're gonna give away the big Noah. A lot of you guys might not even know who Noah Lowry is, and that's a shame, but we're gonna do it right now. Robert DeVille. If he doesn't win a card, nobody will. His aunt's name is Cruella, and it's Robert DeVille. Congratulations, Robert. Should I just bring it to the game tomorrow? Are you going to be there, or do you want me to throw it in the mail? Like, you tell me, buddy. He does always win. This thing's rigged, right, Senior? Yeah, it's rigged.
Fully rigged. Rigged like the Canadian election.
God dang it. Hey. Well, guys, we got a 4-game series starting tomorrow. Optimism runs high when we play the Rockies. And Eddie, I disagree with you, because you're saying that if the Giants were going to Colorado, they would explode, but not necessarily at home. I think they're going to explode at home. I think the crowds have been really good lately. They might not be great Friday night when there's a Warrior game at home of this magnitude and the Rockies here, but I think we're going to do good. I think you guys are going to be hyped. Don't do the up and down. Remember to stay even keel. Like, it's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but you just got to ride that wave and then get to the last month, and then you can start really getting fired up, because we'll be there, and we're going to be above 500. There's no doubt in my mind. 79 wins. I heard that number and laughed. I got $100 on anybody that thinks it's 79 or less. Yeah.
Speaking of waves, I know everybody in our chat probably knows this already, but no. You don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not done. That's Dodger Chavez latrine beach ball nonsense, right? I mean, hey, if you want to do real San Francisco, you can recreate the time they threw the inflatable sex doll off the second deck.
Yeah,
that was genius. That was genius.
and the beach ball and just this and that. It's like, are we watching the game or are we coming? Like it's yeah. Eddie, I hope you're wrong too. And I won't tell you I told you so. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just thinking that we're gonna break out of this slump. We have to. I want to see Fitzgerald getting on base more. I want to see more stolen bases. I want to see people in scoring position for Jung-Hoo Lee to drive them in. I want to see Adames using the gaps with his line drives. And I want to see Patrick Bailey figuring out his swing. That's a lot to ask for, but I think by Monday, we'll be talking about all that stuff and more. So join us. Actually, Sunday night. It'll be Sunday night. And we might, if something great happens the next day or two, we might do a early show as well. But for sure Sunday, and just keep on the promotion tip. I love when you guys are telling other people about our show. It makes me smile.
Yeah. And it's Mustache May. We're going into Mustache May now. So I saw that Chapman, Yastrzemski, who else? Adames. I think some guys got like a little bit of a head start on Mustache May, but and Bailey's always got a little bit of a whatever's going on in his upper lip. But it'd be funny to see some guys rocking that don't normally have that.
Austin Slater loved to do it, and I was just, oh gosh. But,
he's the kind of guy I could see like 10 years from now having those handlebar mustache and entering those contests for that. There's like a full like competitive mustache thing going on. It's insane.
No.
Oh, dude, they have like full blown like conventions and like contests, like who's got the best. They have all these categories of different kinds of beards and mustaches and shit. It's fucking amazing. It's
wow.
Fucking amazing. Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
well, guys, we're heading out. I gotta eat some dinner and might jump in for a minute or two and see what old Glenn and Eric are talking about if they're going. But thanks for joining us. Remember what Chardell says.
Click that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell.
And we out, baby.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Skaters on Baseball. If you liked what you heard, please spread the word, give us a good review, or hell, blow us up on your social media if you're down. Follow us at Skates on Base on Instagram for baseball news and other fun stuff. We love comments and listener participation, so bring it with an audio clip or an email. You can email us at skatersonbase@gmail.com. We're everywhere you get your podcasts, and we'll be here all season long.
Let's go, San Francisco. Let's go, Giants.
Dude, that was one of the most mind-blowing shows I've seen to this day.
Much love.
Adios! See you soon. Thank you.
And I am forever a Giant.